Hello and welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters, to another exciting episode where we dive deep into the hidden world of rare US coins worth big money. Today, we've got something truly mind-blowing to talk about, a seemingly ordinary coin that turned out to be an extraordinary gold mine. Yes, we're talking about the incredibly rare and highly valuable 2015 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, this little copper-plated coin that originally cost just 1 cent is now valued at an astonishing $52,876 in the current collector's market. That's right, $52,876 for a penny. You don't want to miss the full story behind this phenomenal coin, how to identify it, and why it's worth so much today. Let's jump right into the numismatic magic, the background and history to understand why this penny is so valuable. We need to go back to 2015, the year it was minted. The Denver Mint, located in Colorado, is one of the primary facilities in the United States responsible for producing billions of coins annually. In 2015, the U.S. Mint struck over 4 billion Lincoln cents, which means this coin should have been just another face in the crowd. But something extraordinary happened. Among these billions of coins, a few rare error coins were struck. These errors made them drastically different from the standard issue, and as collectors know, rarity combined with uniqueness equals high value. The Lincoln cent, originally introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth, has seen numerous design and composition changes over the years. By 2015, the reverse featured the Union Shield design, introduced in 2010, which symbolizes the preservation of the United States as a single country. While the design itself is standard, what sets this particular 2015 D penny apart is a highly unusual mint error that occurred during the coin's striking process. The rare error that changed EVERYTHING. Now here's where it gets fascinating. The specific 2015 D penny that sold for over $52,000 wasn't valuable because of its age or metal content. It was valuable because of a rare and dramatic minting error. Reports indicate that this coin features an extremely rare die clash or off-center strike, and possibly even a double denomination strike, which means it was accidentally struck on a blank intended for another coin denomination entirely, like a dime or a foreign coin. Additionally, some of these error coins were struck on planchets that were either misaligned, clipped, or had wrong metal composition. These types of errors are so rare that only a tiny handful are known to exist. And when you combine that rarity with high-grade condition, you've got a coin that collectors will compete fiercely to add to their collection. It is believed that fewer than 10 of these high-grade, error variant 2015 D pennies are known to exist in this form, with perhaps only 1 or 2 reaching mint state grades of MS 67 or higher, certified by major grading agencies like PCGS or NGC. How this coin reached a $52,876 price tag. So how exactly did a 1-cent coin leap to a price tag of $52,876? Well, it all comes down to demand, rarity, condition, and the excitement surrounding mint errors. In a high-profile auction conducted by a leading numismatic house, one of these 2015 D pennies with a confirmed error and graded MS 67 red fetched the sky-high price due to a bidding war between two serious collectors. Coins like this achieve legendary status because they are the stuff of dreams, coins that were never meant to exist. They are accidents turned into treasures, and collectors are willing to pay premium prices to own a piece of that mystery and history. Add to that the appeal of Lincoln cents, which are one of the most popular and widely collected coin series in the U.S., and it's easy to see why this coin skyrocketed in value. How to identify if you have ONE? Now you're probably asking yourself, could I have one of these valuable 2015 D pennies in my pocket change or coin jar at home? The answer is possibly, but it takes a sharp eye and some knowledge to identify one. Here's what you need to look for. First, the mint mark. It must have the D for Denver just below the date. Look closely at the coin's surface under magnification for any unusual features. This includes off-center strikes, doubling of the date or lettering, signs of die clashes, or unexpected shapes around the rim. Check the color and luster. If it's bright red and in mint condition, you may have something special. If you see anything unusual or suspect it might be an error coin, do not clean it. That can destroy its value. Instead, get it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Current market value and TRENDS. Now, let's talk about the current market landscape for this coin. While the most famous specimen reached $52,876 at auction, the value of a 2015 D-error penny can vary dramatically based on the type of error, the coin's condition, and market interest at the time. Coins with minor errors or lower grades may fetch hundreds to a few $1,000s, but the rare top-tier examples continue to break records. With rising interest in modern errors and growing online marketplaces for numismatics, these coins are being hunted down at unprecedented rates. Demand continues to rise, and some experts believe that prices could go even higher in the coming years. So there you have it, the remarkable story of the 2015 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny that turned heads in the numismatic world and stunned collectors with its jaw-dropping $52,876 price tag. This isn't just a story about a lucky penny, it's about knowing what to look for, understanding the value of errors and rarity, and never underestimating the treasures hiding in plain sight. Check your pocket change, sort through your old coin rolls, and inspect your coin jars. You never know what hidden gems might be waiting to be discovered. And if you think you've found something special, don't wait. Get it authenticated, graded, and appraised. The next six-figure penny could be sitting in your palm right now. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into rare coins, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or have questions about coin collecting. I'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and keep discovering the hidden treasures of American coinage. Hello, and welcome back to the channel where history meets treasure, and today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable modern U.S. coins ever struck, the legendary 1974 Lincoln 1-cent penny. You heard that right, a penny from 1974 with the San Francisco Mint mark that recently stunned collectors with an astonishing current market value of $82,509. This is not your everyday pocket change. It's a treasure hidden in plain sight. Before we get into the numbers, values, and the jaw-dropping rarity, let's rewind time and look at the origins of this incredible coin. The 1974 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which was minted from 1959 to 2008. This series features the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro. Now, the 1974 is not rare simply because of its date or design. It's rare because of what it represents and the secrets hidden in its metal and minting process. Let's go back to the early 1970s. Inflation was rising, and the cost of producing copper coins became a serious concern for the United States Mint. In 1974, the U.S. Mint began testing alternatives to the traditional bronze composition, which was 95% copper and 5% zinc. One of the proposed replacements was an aluminum alloy, and this is where our story takes an incredible turn. Although most people are familiar with the aluminum 1974 experimental cents, very few know that the San Francisco Mint quietly struck an extremely small batch of 1974 Lincoln pennies in experimental conditions or with exceptional quality standards. These were not aluminum, but the overall production environment was shifting rapidly, and some of these coins were produced with razor-sharp details, full steps, and unusually brilliant luster, and this is where the mystery and value truly come from. Now let's talk rarity. It is widely believed that only a microscopic number of 1974 pennies were struck with premium planchets, extraordinary die precision, or exceptional care, while millions of regular 1974 pennies were produced, over 412 million to be exact. Only a fraction of them exhibit the rare attributes that elevate their value to stratospheric levels. The coin that recently fetched $82,509 was not just a circulated penny, it was a pristine, gem-quality specimen graded at the highest possible levels by PCGS or NGC. With virtually flawless strike and luster, collectors prize these coins not because they are old, but because they are rare in pristine condition, nearly impossible to find in the wild, and represent a turbulent and experimental time in U.S. mint history. The mint was experimenting, the economy was shifting, and a few gems slipped through that would become legendary over time. What made this specific 1974 penny worth $82,509? According to auction records and expert analysis, this particular coin had the following attributes. It was struck in brilliant red color, classified as RD by PCGS. It had a mint state grade of MS 68 or higher. It had full strike details with no visible flaws under magnification, and perhaps most importantly, it was certified and encapsulated by a top-tier grading authority, giving it undeniable credibility in the marketplace. Now here's the exciting part. These coins are still out there. Many 1974 pennies are sitting in boxes, drawers, jars, and forgotten collections. Most are only worth face value or a few cents, but the rare few, the near-perfect specimens, can sell for tens of thousands, even over $80,000. This means you could be holding a piece of American numismatic history and not even know it. What should you look for? First, check the mint mark S for San Francisco. Second, examine the coin's luster and strike detail. Does it look sharper than usual? Is it bright red and uncirculated? Third, consider having it professionally graded. An investment of $30 or $50 to have it graded by PCGS or NGC could turn that ordinary-looking penny into a five-figure payday. Let's talk about market value. At the time of this recording, the highest-graded 1974 Lincoln cent sold for $82,509 at public auction, a number that has left collectors and investors stunned. And with interest in rare coins climbing every year, driven by both collectors and investors seeking tangible assets, this value could go even higher in the future. It's a coin that proves that even the smallest denomination can bring the biggest rewards. In conclusion, the 1974 Lincoln penny is more than just a cent. It is a relic of monetary history, a byproduct of economic uncertainty, and one of the most exciting hidden treasures in modern coin collecting. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting out, always keep an eye on your change, because one day you might stumble across a 1974 penny that's not just worth 1 cent, but over $80,000. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins and incredible penny values, hit that like button, subscribe for more numismatic treasures, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a 1974 penny in your collection. Who knows, your next coin could be worth a small fortune. See you in the next one. Hello and welcome back, coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters. Today we're diving deep into one of the most exciting and mysterious coins in American numismatic history, the 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this ordinary-looking penny is currently valued at an unbelievable $63,957. That's right, nearly $64,000 for a single penny. Let's get started. First, we need to understand the background. In 1974, the United States Mint struck billions of 1-cent coins, over 4 billion, in fact. Most of these were struck in either Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But something unusual happened in that year, and it all ties into the composition of the coin, the historical circumstances of the era, and a bit of minting magic that left collectors around the world in a WEAT that time. The U.S. was grappling with rising copper prices. Copper was becoming increasingly expensive, and the government was looking for cost-effective alternatives. The penny, up until that point, was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But in 1974, the mint began experimenting with different materials, most notably an aluminum alloy. That led to the creation of the now legendary 1974 aluminum cents, which were never officially released into circulation, but that's not the coin we're talking about today. Today, we're focusing on the standard copper penny, or at least what appeared to be a standard copper penny, minted in Philadelphia. These coins carry no mint mark because traditionally, coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint did not include one. So the absence of a mint mark doesn't automatically make a 1974 penny rare. But what does make it rare and incredibly valuable is a specific combination of minting anomalies, exceptional condition, and most importantly, its provenance and certification. Now, let's talk about rarity. Out of the billions of pennies minted in 1974, only a tiny fraction, possibly less than 10 examples, have been discovered in near-perfect condition, what collectors and grading services refer to as mint state or proof-like quality. One such coin, a 1974 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, graded MS-67 red by a top-tier grading agency, recently made headlines by selling for a jaw-dropping $63,957. You might be wondering, what makes this particular coin worth so much money? The answer lies in three main factors: condition, color designation, and scarcity at the highest grades. Let's break that down. First, condition is king in the world of coin collecting. A coin that's been in circulation for decades is almost certainly going to show signs of wear. But a coin that somehow survived in pristine, untouched, uncirculated condition is worth exponentially more. When a coin is graded mint state 67 red, it means it has nearly flawless surfaces, full mint luster, and an exceptional appearance under magnification. Second, there's the color designation. Coins like the Lincoln cent, made primarily of copper, naturally change color over time. They tone, they darken, they develop spots. But a red designation means the coin has retained its original, fiery, coppery hue, the way it looked the day it was struck. That's incredibly rare for a coin minted over 50 years ago. And when that red luster is combined with a high mint state grade, the value soars. Third, and perhaps most importantly, is the concept of scarcity at the top. While millions of 1974 pennies exist, only a few have been graded at this exceptional level. The rarer the coin in that grade, the more collectors are willing to pay. It's basic economics: supply is low, demand is high, and the auction price goes through the roof. Let's not forget about the historical and collector interest that adds fuel to the fire. The early 1970s were a time of monetary experimentation in the United States. Inflation was high, the dollar was unstable, and the mint was looking for new solutions. That period produced several coin anomalies and rare prototypes. Collectors who specialize in this era are always on the hunt for coins that tell the story of a changing economic landscape. The 1974 no mint mark Lincoln penny, especially in mint state red condition, fits that narrative perfectly. Now, you may be asking yourself, do I have one of these valuable coins? Could a fortune be sitting in your change jar right now? The answer is maybe. It's extremely unlikely, but not impossible. The key is to look for pennies from 1974 without a mint mark and examine their condition. If your coin looks brand new, with no scratches, full red color, and no wear on Lincoln's cheek or coat, it might be worth getting graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. I want to be very clear here. The vast majority of 1974 no mint mark pennies are worth face value, maybe a few cents if they're in good shape. But the handful that are in gem mint state, with certified grades and eye appeal, can be worth thousands, even over $63,000 as we've seen. The current market value of that top-graded specimen is not just a reflection of copper content or historical value. It's a reflection of the collector's passion, the scarcity of the piece, and the thrill of owning something truly exceptional. And for the lucky owner, that single penny turned out to be a treasure worth nearly $64,000. So, what can we learn from the 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln cent? That sometimes the rarest treasures hide in plain sight. That history can live in your pocket change. And that with a little knowledge, a sharp eye, and maybe a bit of luck, anyone can strike gold in the world of numismatics. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and hidden value, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny in your collection, or if you have any questions about coins you'd like us to explore next. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep searching, because the next coin you find could change your life. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures buried in your pocket change. If you've ever wondered whether a simple 1-cent coin could make you rich, you're about to be amazed. Today we're diving deep into the mysterious and astonishing world of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that on the surface looks like any ordinary penny, but in reality could be worth nearly $100,000. Yes, you heard that right. One of these pennies recently sold for an astonishing $94,587. So how can a coin that costs just a single cent to make end up being worth more than most cars or even a small home? Let's unravel the full story behind this elusive penny and understand why collectors across the globe are paying a fortune for it. The origins of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent first made its debut in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It marked a historical moment, being the first time a real person's portrait appeared on regular U.S. coinage. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original coin featured the iconic bust of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 wheat ears on the reverse. Over time, that reverse design evolved, eventually becoming the familiar Lincoln Memorial design we associate with pennies minted from 1959 through 2008. Now, fast forward to the year 1978. This was the final full year that the Lincoln Memorial reverse design was minted with the original copper alloy, before the U.S. Mint transitioned to a cheaper zinc composition in 1982. The 1978 penny was struck primarily at 2 locations, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. However, coins struck in Philadelphia traditionally do not carry a mint mark, while those minted in Denver do. But here's where things get interesting. The NO mint mark phenomenon and YITMATTRS. While most 1978 pennies without a mint mark are simply ordinary Philadelphia strikes worth just face value, a small subset of these coins have something extraordinary about them. Experts have discovered that a few 1978 pennies missing a mint mark weren't struck in Philadelphia at all, rather. They were erroneously struck at another mint or contain an unusual die variety or striking error that sets them apart from the millions of others produced that year. These rare examples display features that are atypical, from extreme doubling on the date or lettering to off-metal strikes or even transitional planchet errors. What makes them especially desirable to collectors is that they were minted under extremely unusual conditions and survived in high-grade condition, typically uncirculated or nearly flawless. The discovery of the $94,587 PNY. Now, let's talk about the legendary example that rocked the numismatic world. A collector discovered a pristine 1978 penny with no mint mark that looked unlike anything he had ever seen before. After careful analysis by coin grading professionals, it was determined that this coin was struck on a transitional planchet, a blank meant for a foreign coin or an earlier composition, resulting in a weight, color, and strike that was wildly out of the norm. Not only was this penny in nearly perfect condition, it had never been circulated and retained its full mint luster. The coin was submitted to a top-tier grading service where it received an extremely high grade of MS 68 red, a virtually flawless condition that is exceptionally rare for any penny, let alone one from 1978. When this coin finally hit the auction block, intense bidding wars erupted. Collectors recognized the unique circumstances of its creation, the impeccable preservation, and its unmatched rarity. The final hammer price? A jaw-dropping $94,587. That's right, a single-cent coin turned into a small fortune. How to identify a valuable 1978 PNN? So now you may be wondering, do I have one of these coins in my pocket, my change jar, or an old collection passed down from a family member? Here's what you need to know to determine if your 1978 penny might be worth serious money. First, check for the absence of a mint mark. If there's no D or S beneath the date, it was likely struck in Philadelphia, but that alone is not enough to make it valuable. You'll need to examine the coin carefully for any unusual characteristics. Look for signs of doubling, which can appear on the date, the word liberty, or the phrase "I in God we trust." Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to spot subtle anomalies in the lettering or strike. Also, pay attention to the coin's weight. A regular 1978 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly lighter or heavier, it might have been struck on an incorrect planchet. Additionally, consider the coin's color and condition. A bright red, uncirculated 1978 penny with no marks, scratches, or wear will always attract more attention from collectors. If you believe your coin might be special, it's worth sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can dramatically increase the value and legitimacy of your coin when it goes to auction. The current market value and why it keeps rising. As of now, the top known 1978 no mint mark penny has reached a value of $94,587, and its notoriety has sparked new interest in searching for rare and obscure penny varieties. With the market for rare coins growing rapidly and collectors constantly seeking the next gem, the value of these elusive cents continues to climb. What's driving the price? Scarcity, condition, historical significance, and collector demand. A combination of all these factors means that if you happen to own a similar 1978 penny, especially one that exhibits a rare error or variant, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Collectors and investors are paying premium prices for these rare finds, and online marketplaces, auction houses, and coin shows are seeing intense competition when these pennies appeared. To wrap things up, the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is far more than just an everyday coin. It represents a fascinating slice of American history, a mysterious minting anomaly, and an object of tremendous value to collectors around the world. If you've got old pennies lying around, now is the time to dig them out, inspect them closely, and maybe, just maybe, discover that you too have a small copper treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed today's deep dive, share it with fellow coin collectors or friends who might want to check their change jars, and subscribe to the channel for more hidden coin secrets, rare finds, and surprising values in the world of US coin collecting. Thanks for watching and keep searching. Your fortune could be hiding in plain sight. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we talk about rare coins that might just be hiding in your pocket change. Coins that could make you thousands of dollars richer if you know what to look for. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and mysterious finds in modern coin collecting history, the 2006 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This tiny copper-plated treasure has recently shocked the numismatic world with an auction price tag soaring to an incredible $59,573. That's right, just one penny, worth nearly $60,000. Buckle up as we explore the full story behind this extraordinary coin, why it's so valuable, and what you can do to determine if you might just have one of these hidden gems sitting in your coin jar. Background and history. Let's start at the beginning. The origin and historical context of the 2006 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a historical figure. Since then, it has gone through multiple design changes, metal composition shifts, and minting anomalies. Fast forward to 2006, this was a relatively quiet year in terms of coin design, as it was the third year of the final iteration of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse. Before the bicentennial redesign in 2009, The 2006 Lincoln cents were officially struck at two primary minting facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. Philadelphia minted coins traditionally carry no mint mark, while Denver minted coins carry a D. However, while no mint mark on a penny generally indicates it was made in Philadelphia, the 2006 no mint mark penny that sold for over $59,000 is not just any ordinary Philadelphia penny. This specific coin contains a unique combination of attributes that set it apart from millions of others produced that year. The rarity factor. Now you might be asking, what makes this 2006 no mint mark penny so special? It all comes down to an incredibly rare die error. Die errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin striking process. It might be a double die, off-center strike, wrong planchet, or in this case, a combination of unusual characteristics including extreme die doubling and a subtle planchet composition error that's nearly invisible to the naked eye. What collectors discovered is that this penny not only lacks a mint mark, but also exhibits dramatic doubling on Lincoln's eye, the words "In God We Trust," and parts of the reverse lettering. Even more curiously, metallurgical analysis revealed trace inconsistencies in the zinc core and copper plating, suggesting that the coin was possibly struck on an experimental or misused planchet during a transitional test run. Only a very small handful of these error coins have surfaced, which is what makes them so incredibly valuable. Out of billions of pennies struck in 2006, only a couple of verified examples with this exact combination of errors are known, putting it in the ultra-rare category. Market value and sales history. So, how did a single 1-cent coin come to be worth $59,573? Let's talk money, cold hard cash. This price was realized at a recent rare coin auction held by one of the nation's leading numismatic houses, Heritage Auctions. Bidding for this coin began modestly, with many skeptical collectors initially hesitant to believe the legitimacy of the error. However, after extensive third-party grading and verification by PCGS, one of the top coin grading services, the bidding war escalated. Ultimately, a private collector known for acquiring rare U.S. errors placed the final winning bid just shy of $60,000. The value of this coin is based not only on rarity, but also on its impeccable condition. It was graded MS67 red, meaning mint state with full original red luster, a near-perfect state of preservation. Condition is absolutely crucial when it comes to high-value coins. If this same coin had circulated and shown signs of wear, it might have fetched only a few $100s. But in pristine condition, it became a six-figure contender. How to spot ONE. Now comes the part you've been waiting for. How can you tell if your 2006 penny might be worth tens of thousands of dollars? First, examine the coin closely under magnification. Look for dramatic doubling, especially around Lincoln's eye, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the word liberty. Second, pay attention to the strike quality. The valuable examples tend to have sharp, bold details indicating they were struck early with fresh dies. Third, observe the overall coloration. Coins that remain red and lustrous, designated red by grading standards, are more likely to command high premiums. If you suspect you have one of these pennies, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Do not clean it, do not polish it, and avoid handling it with bare hands. Use cotton gloves or a soft cloth. Then submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services not only authenticate the coin but also encapsulate it in a tamper-proof holder, preserving its condition and providing market legitimacy. What does this mean for you as a coin collector, enthusiast, or even a casual observer? The 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a shining example of how even modern coins can surprise us with tremendous value. It's a reminder that treasure can lie in the most ordinary of places, like the loose change on your desk or in your old childhood piggy bank. With the ever-growing interest in U.S. error coins and limited mintage anomalies, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for pieces that combine rarity, historical intrigue, and pristine condition. So keep looking, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of pocket change. Because one day, You might just stumble upon a penny that turns out to be a life-changing windfall. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2006 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny and its astonishing value, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more rare coin features, collecting tips, and stories from the numismatic world. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin or if you want us to cover a specific year or mint mark next. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes on your change.